In today's video, we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 again, and apparently it's on track for fall next year. We are on PC Gamer, and this article is by Rich Stanton. Thank you for the article. It will be down in the description below. The title goes, Take-Two CEO says Grand Theft Auto 6 is on track for fall next year. GTA 5 has sold over 205 million, and PC will be more and more a part of our business going forward. Although rather politely calls the Borderlands movie disappointing. Yeah, no duh. Take-Two has published its financial result for the second quarter of fiscal year 2025, and the house that Strauss built is doing very well indeed. Through all of the beady shareholder eyes remain one particular title to come. The results show that Take-Two is on course to hit the top end of its own expectations with 1.47 billion in net bookings over this quarter, and the target remaining 5.55 to 5.6 billion for the year overall. Jeez, wow. But never mind that, where's Grand Theft Auto 6? True. Well, apparently it's coming this fall, on schedule. These results were broadly driven by the continued success of Grand Theft Auto and the Borderlands franchise, said the chairman, CEO Strauss Zelnick on an investor call following the results. I don't know about the Borderlands franchise. Borderlands 4 was the latest one, and that was a while ago, wasn't it? Sorry, it was Borderlands 3 that I was thinking of. Borderlands 3 was 2019, so it was a while ago. And I don't think there has been another Borderlands game since then, unless the Tiny Tina's Wonderland came after, but I thought that was after. Let me quickly check that too. Tiny's Tina's Wonderland was 2022. So, okay, so that one was the latest one. That was only 2 years ago. So Borderlands 4 is also coming 2025. I guess then, yeah, it has sold well. But I feel like it's definitely slightly on the downside because Borderlands 3, I think, was kind of meh for a lot of people. And oh my god, I can't pronounce this game's name. That one was good, but a lot of people are kind of, I feel like a lot of people are hoping for not a rebranding, but like a reimagining of Borderlands, because it feels like the game hasn't really done more yet since Borderlands. Some people would say 2. I think that's a little extreme, but I feel like the Borderlands formula needs a little shakeup in some way. Like maybe the RPG aspects get a little bit more, or they do a little more crazy things. I feel like there's been a little bit of calmness when it comes to Borderlands recently. Though the Tiny Tina's Wonderland game was very fun, or fun looking, like with the fantasy setting and all that type of stuff. And the character in general is just kind of crazy, so that helps. We have one of the strongest portfolios of owned intellectual property in our industry. That's true. With many exciting new titles coming in fiscal 2026, including Grand Theft Auto 6 in the fall, Borderlands 4, and Mafia: The Old Country. We expect to create long-term value for our shareholders. I actually don't remember Mafia: The Old Country, but I forgot they owned Mafia, and that's a fun game, honestly. I really enjoyed Mafia 2. Not really 3. And I haven't played Mafia 1, actually, now that I think about it. The results are accompanied by a list of 2K's upcoming titles, which includes Grand Theft Auto 6, listed for fall of calendar 2025, but unfortunately only for PS5 and Xbox Series. Other titles in the list, such as Civilization 7, Borderlands 4, Mafia: The Old Country, and Judas. Oh, I forgot they own Judas as well, are down for PC release alongside that. So yeah, us PC gamers maybe will be looking for 2026 for the GTA 6 in the best case scenario. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like they're, for some reason, waiting a year. I'm not entirely sure why. It does feel a little weird that they're doing the wait a year thing. It's similar to what they did with Grand Theft Auto 5, but I mean, I guess technically it could be better because it gives them more time to work on it. It does feel a little strange, though, that they're not simultaneous releases, but they did it before, and, it's Grand Theft Auto 6, so you can't really argue with them. I am excited for Civilization 7. I really don't care about Borderlands anymore. I feel like it's been kind of, for me personally, I haven't been interested since Borderlands 2, and Borderlands 3 I played briefly and kind of got bored. So Borderlands, I feel like they have to do something new and exciting for me to be interested in Borderlands again, or at least different. I feel like they've been kind of stale with the Borderlands formula, and the writing has been really bad in the past couple games. So that is the biggest problem, I think, is that the writing used to be funny and like with Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3's writing was awful, and Tiny Tina's writing was fine and good, but that's also because Tiny Tina is an amazing character they created. And once again, it proves that if you don't have good characters in Borderlands, it's really not good because they're not good at writing stories, but they are amazing good at writing characters. Because Handsome Jack is an amazing character, but is the story of Borderlands 2 very good? I mean, it's all right, but it's mostly the character of Handsome Jack. And Borderlands 3 didn't have that many good characters, so the story is more like the poorness of the story writing is more noticeable because the characters aren't stand out like they have been, like Borderlands 2 with Handsome Jack and with the Tiny Tina. I mean, Tiny Tina was in Borderlands 2 as well, but like her own game, she carries that game because of her character. And honestly, I'm kind of interested in the Mafia game too, but that's also because I like Mafia 2, was not interested in Mafia 3, unfortunately. Maybe one day. But I really enjoyed Mafia 2, so we'll see how it goes. And it's Mafia the Old Country. So I assume they mean Italy, because it's Mafia, so probably they're going to be in Italy, which would be interesting. There was one later aside that suggests that things will generally improve the Take-Two's titles and simultaneously PC releases. Wazelnik was talking about the different target platforms in the console market, mentioning PC as the open platform. Interesting. I wonder what open platform means. Wazelnik went on to say, I do think PC will be more and more part of our business going forward. Well, I'd hope so. I think some companies don't understand that there are people who don't own consoles but do game on PC, and it's just a missing market. They're just lost, in my opinion, they're just lost sales because most people who are super into PC gaming who don't own a console aren't buying a console because of one game. GTA 6 is honestly maybe the only game that I can think of that could make someone buy a console, but most other games I don't think so. So funny enough, I think GTA 6 might be the only one that could potentially get people to buy a console, and like because of just how big it is. But I feel like at this point, you should be releasing it on PC as well simultaneously because you are missing sales, I feel like. But I mean, I guess they're not doing it simultaneously, but hopefully they will in the future. So Zelnick does a little verbal dance on all these results calls as hard-nosed financial wonks drill down into the performance of individual games. And as always, try to get more information about Golden Goose Theft Auto. Mostly those questions are politely stonewalled, though they do bring out some interesting asides about GTA generally. Sales of Grand Theft Auto 5 outperformed our expectations, and to date, the title has sold over 205 million units worldwide. Wow, that's a lot. Says Zelnick, Grand Theft Auto Online has exceeded our plans, driven by sustained engagement. Momentum also continued with GTA Plus as Rockstar grew its membership by 35% over the year. I forgot they have a membership program, but every game has a membership program for some reason. It's interesting. Honestly, GTA 5 selling 205 million units feels low for Grand Theft Auto, but it has been a very long time. Since 2013, the game's been out. So it's honestly not surprising it's sold that much, but how like crazy that game was and how impactful it was, it feels like 205 million is low, at least from how often I heard about it. But it's also kind of weird because it's also one of those things where it's kind of is exaggerated how big the gaming industry sometimes is, because 205 million units is a crazy amount, but Grand Theft Auto is one of the biggest games of ever, and it feels like it should be higher than that. But I guess it's not. That's crazy though. Zelnick also mentioned Red Dead Redemption 2 sales, which have been consistently chart since release, and says the game has now sold over 67 million units to date. That's great. I really enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 2. It was a fun game. I still desperately want the Grand Theft Auto or 2K or Rockstar to change their combat engine, because the whole hide behind cover thing it's been so old forever, and there's so many situations where you just shoot people, and I'm like, guys, this combat system hasn't been good for like a decade at this point, so please update it in some way. It just doesn't work. It's just boring now. And a lot of like the best parts of Red Dead Redemption 2 is when you don't have to shoot, when it's a shootout, when it's not a shootout, because it's just so I'm not even talking about the slowness because of the guns in the period, because I find the Grand Theft Auto 5 combat just as bad, but it's because it's so old and the engine hasn't been updated for combat, and I feel like they really need to do something about that. I understand that these games are, I'm not saying you need to add like dashes or RPG mechanics or something like that, but like I don't know, I feel like the third person cover mechanics could be updated, I feel like, in some way. So it could be like maybe there's more things you can do with it. I'm sure there is, because it just feels very outdated. Honestly, I feel like it's because of the controls as well, especially on PC. The PC controls can be really weird and wonky. So hopefully they can fix that and maybe it'll make it feel better. So that's what I hope for GTA 6. Honestly, the biggest thing for GTA 6 is updated combat, because I hope they isn't just the same thing from Grand Theft Auto 4, because it basically hasn't changed since Grand Theft Auto 4. Like, it's been slightly updated per game by game, but I think it needs more than a slight update. I think it needs major overhauls. But we'll see, I guess. The suits were less self-congratulating about the Borderlands film, which is one of the year's biggest flops, and was roundly panned by customers and critics alike. Yeah, it was terrible. Asked by one shareholder to detail the financial contribution here within the wider Borderlands franchise, Sound like instantly says we don't really need to break out the contribution of the film because it was probably basically nothing. Read between the lines, though, they're not happy. Even though the film was disappointing, it actually benefited our catalog sales, so that it is a sign that the making a movie or TV show can drive sales, and that's a good thing, says Zelnick. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, one of the best things about the Borderlands movie is so many people just started playing Borderlands video games, which in the eyes of, I'm sure, them and the investors, I'm sure was a great thing, because it probably did more sales because of the Borderlands movie, because it was so bad. So fans of the franchise said, please don't watch the film, buy the games instead. I'm sure Borderlands 2 popped off and Borderlands 3 popped off. I hope a lot of people played the Tiny Tina's Wonderland game, because that one is probably the best in terms of narrative stuff, but just because of how crazy she is. We're really selective because we would prefer that everything that comes out on our brands and it is really, really successful. We can't guarantee that, especially when it's out of our hands. So we have licensed other titles. We'll continue selectively to do so, but emphasis on the word selectively. Yeah, I mean, that was probably not very good. Ever since Rockstar released the first Grand Theft Auto trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, dating the title for 2025, there's been speculation over whether the game will make that date. It's not just as a history of delayed in GTA titles, but that Rockstar is seeking perfection with this title. As one former lead dev put it, there's really no competition to worry about. It's true. Basically, no one is fighting them. The only one that was really fighting them, oh god, I can't even remember the game's name now, because it's the last game was so bad. It was the one where it was like the juice company thing. Oh god, I can't remember the game's name now. Saints Row. That was the game. Saints Row was only ever the real kind of competition, but the newest Saints Row game literally killed the gaming franchise because it was so bad. So there's really no competition. Like, no, and also I feel like there'll never be competition, because who on earth is gonna fight Rockstar in GTA? Like, you're never gonna beat them. So I don't see why anyone would want to. Maybe this time next year you'll be playing GTA 6 on console at least. Mr. Zelnick and all of his shareholders certainly hope so. I will not, because I primarily play my games on PC, but I will be watching people play GTA 6 because I'm interested in what the game will be doing. Like I said before, I really hope they update the combat in some way. I understand that, like, I don't want them to go away from the third person cover shooting stuff, because, you know, it is a more realist, like, it's grounded. You're not superheroes, you're not like crazy cyborgs and stuff like that. I'm not saying you should update it with abilities and stuff. I'm just saying I really hope, honestly, I think the biggest thing is I hope they update the sounds of the weapons, because if a gun sounds really good to shoot, then I feel like the satisfaction of shooting the gun will be better, even if the actual system hasn't changed. But if it's more satisfying because of the sounds and like the ragdolling and like the actual visual aspects of it, maybe that will be it. Because the most disappointing thing about Grand Theft Auto 5 nowadays is the guns don't sound very good anymore because it's so old. And I think the better things about Red Dead Redemption 2 is the guns sound like those guns. They sound relatively satisfying. So hopefully this gun sound, I think that's one of the biggest things I could update, if the sounds of the guns are better. So then you don't need to worry about the actual third person cover shooting in general, but if it feels better to play and sounds better, I think it'd be good enough for me, honestly. It'd be cool if they update it completely, but I understand that Grand Theft Auto 6, the biggest thing is going to be the map and the story. So that's the biggest thing they're going to be working on, obviously. Thank you for watching today's video. If you'd like to support me, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Comment down below what you think. I'm interested. I really hope they do make this date, and because the delay of Grand Theft Auto 6 will be very sad for a lot of people, and I don't like people being sad. So, hopefully it comes out, and hopefully it's good. I'll be waiting until 2026 because I'll be waiting until PC at the earliest. So yeah, if you'd like to follow me, please go over to Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blueski. Thank you, Blue Sky, not Blueski. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye, everyone.